Good morning, students. How are you today? In today's lesson with my partner Matias, Perez, we are going to talk about one of the most important types of words in a sentence, nouns.
Continuing with the lesson, as my partner Diego Grollmus said, today we are going to learn about nouns. We are going to learn what they are and how to identify them. We are going to explain them with some examples for you to understand better. But first, we need to remember that sentences are divided into subject, verb, object, and complements, and nouns can play the role of any of those. Here we have the sentence, Juan found the game frustrating. In this case, Juan as subject, found as verb, the game as subject, and frustrating as complement. Now we are going to start with the real lesson. So, what is a noun? A noun is a word that names something. It can be real and non-material, for example, a place, a person, or a thing, or something that is unreal and non-material, like an idea, time, or even the dreams. And its use has a name or what we call type of nouns. The first type of noun we are going to talk about are the proper nouns. Sorry, the proper nouns are nouns that designate a single particular object, serving as its proper name and differentiating it from others that may share some characteristics. For example, a name, a place, or the animals. And they are always written with a capital letter. Contrary to the proper nouns we have in the common nouns, are never with the capital letter at the beginning of the word. And this type of nouns designate people or things as belonging to a class, group, or species. They do not denote individuals, for example, kids, car, or home. Now we are going to see some examples. In this sentence, Jacinto is a very good dog. Can you identify in this sentence the proper and common nouns? That's right, Jacinto is the proper noun. It's easy to identify because it has a capital letter and it uses to differentiate it from others. And dog is the common noun because it belongs to a species and thus don't denote as individual. Also, in some of the common nouns, we have other ways to distinguish them. And these are the concrete nouns. Concrete nouns are those types of nouns that name a material element and therefore tangible and perceptible for the senses. For example, a bed, a person, or a door. And contrary to the concrete nouns, there are the abstract nouns, which are those nouns that refer to things that cannot be perceived with senses but are created and understood by thought or imagination. For example, justice, the truth or lies, faith, and respect. Many abstract nouns are used in sentences as adjectives. Now we're going to see some examples. All friendship will last forever. Can you identify in this sentence if they are concrete or abstract nouns? Correct. Friendship is an abstract noun because friendship is something you can touch and it's something you need to imagine. Now we're going to see other example, which is I like to sleep in my bed. Yes, bed sorry, is a concrete noun. You can see and touch the bed. And now my partner Diego is going to continue with the lesson.
We also have countable and uncountable nouns. As their names say, countable nouns are nouns that can be counted. We normally use quantifiers to refer to them. For example, a, and, the, some, any, a few, and many. For example, we have here a cookie, some hot dogs, and a few tomatoes. Uncountable nouns are in a state that is impossible to count. For example, liquids or things similar to liquids, such as sand or the air. They are always singular and use the quantifier some, any, a little, and much. Some uncountable nouns can transform into countable if you give them a measure or a box. For example, water is uncountable, but a bottle of water is countable. Here, in this activity, can you identify the countable and uncountable nouns? Use C for countable and U for uncountable. Got it? Oil is uncountable. Lemons are countable. Milk is uncountable. Bottle of milk is is countable. Can of Coke is countable. And now, similar to countable and uncountable nouns, we have plural and singular nouns. There is an easy way to distinguish them. Plural nouns end with an s, bs, or is. For example, dog is singular, dogs is plural, bus is singular, buses is plural, wolf is singular, wolves is plural, city is singular, cities is plural. However, some nouns do not follow this little trick. For example, child is singular and his plural is children. The same as with goose. Goose is singular and geese is plural. Can you identify the singular and plural in this sentence? Ready? Okay, let's see. Children, cities, and geese are plurals. Bus, zoo, and wolf are singular. Finally, we have compound nouns. A compound noun is a compound created by two words coming together. These separate words do not necessarily have to be nouns themselves, and the final meaning is usually not related to the word. For example, basketball, basket, and ball. Haircut, hair, and cut. Look out, look and out. And father-in-law is pretty obvious. Father and in-law. In this activity, can you separate the words in trash can? That's correct. Trash and can. In conclusion, we hope that by defining and explaining what are nouns and the types of nouns, like proper, common, concrete, abstract, countable, uncountable, plural, singular, and compound, you are now able to identify them and make your speech a level more advanced. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye.